One question I get a lot when I run into people I know in restaurants is, are you working? The answer to that question has always been yes, because essentially when I eat out all year round, I'm always sort of auditioning restaurants. In any given year, I would say that on average about 25 restaurants could reasonably expect to be considered for a listing in the top 10. I only consider fine dining restaurants. And I'm looking for restaurants that sort of compare in quality to what we would consider the best restaurants in the country. A single meal can sort of disqualify a place, so to speak, if it's particularly disappointing or if it sort of falls well short of meals I've had at the restaurant in the past. You know, one thing I'm asked a lot as well is, or accused of, I suppose, is being unfair. That coming up with such a list is so subjective and so arbitrary that it's sort of unfair to the restaurants that don't make it. And to a certain degree, when you think about, well, what might be the 10th best restaurant in New Orleans and the 11th best restaurant in New Orleans, the differences between those two places is probably fairly negligible. And I can understand that argument. But this idea of fairness, that ranking is somehow unfair, is something I don't buy, because it is. Restaurants are a competition. They're part of the marketplace. They're performances. Customers judge these places way more harshly than I do, at least if the things I read online is any indication.